For a second, what pops into your head? A towering guy with just, massive muscles? Or maybe somebody with an off-the-charts academic IQ? Well, it's actually a pretty common myth that those two things alone are the master keys to military leadership. The reality? An officer is not selected only because of physical fitness or academic knowledge. What actually makes a leader in high-stakes environments is way more complex, and honestly, a lot more interesting.
So, that really begs the question, what exactly is the SSB looking for? Now, the Services Selection Board, or SSB, is basically the ultimate rigorous gateway to becoming an officer in the Indian Armed Forces. They're running this highly calibrated assessment that's designed to completely strip away the superficial stuff and uncover the true core of a candidate. So if it's not just about brawn or acing written exams, what's the secret formula here? What actually makes up the DNA of a true leader?
Well, the answer actually comes down to one very specific number: 15. The SSB meticulously evaluates candidates against a framework of exactly 15 officer-like qualities, commonly known as OLQs. They aren't looking for some vague Hollywood idea of bravery. No, they are measuring you against a highly specific, standardized set of 15 distinct traits that have literally been proven to work out in the field.
Okay, let's really dive into this. In this explainer, we're going to dissect the anatomy of a leader by decoding these 15 officer-like qualities. We're going to break down this comprehensive military-grade framework so you can see exactly how the armed forces identify true leadership potential, and, more importantly, how you can actually understand and apply these traits yourself.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by defining officer-like qualities, then move into Factor 1, the logical mind, Factor 2, social mastery, and Factor 3, the dynamic core. After that, we'll talk about surviving the SSB assessment itself, and finally, forging your own leadership. It's a clean, easy-to-follow blueprint.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, defining officer-like qualities beyond the uniform.
At its absolute core, the SSB is really evaluating whether a candidate has the personality, the leadership, and the character required to lead soldiers in peace, as well as in incredibly difficult situations. It's all about finding that foundational bedrock of a person. These qualities are exactly what allow an officer to navigate vastly different terrains, manage completely diverse teams, and just hold it together under immense life-or-death pressure.
Moving right along to Factor 1, the logical mind.
Now this officially falls under planning and organizing, and it's basically the cognitive engine of an officer. Let's look at the first piece: effective intelligence. It sounds fancy, but it's really just the ability to solve practical problems using everyday common sense. Think about that for a second. The military isn't necessarily looking for a theoretical genius who can, quote Sun Tzu, but then completely freezes up when the GPS breaks. They prioritize practical common sense over pure academic book smarts. You've got to be able to look at a messy, real-world problem, completely cut through the noise, and figure out a working solution right then and there.
Building right on top of that effective intelligence are three more crucial traits that cascade perfectly into each other. First up is reasoning ability. This just means making logical, balanced decisions rather than emotional ones. And that reasoning naturally leads right into organizing ability. This is all about planning your work efficiently and making the absolute most of the resources you actually have available to you. And finally, importantly, power of expression. Because let's face it, you might have a brilliant, well-organized plan, but if you can't communicate your ideas clearly and confidently to your team, that plan is absolutely useless. A logical mind has to analyze situations rapidly and express those solutions effectively.
Okay, on to Factor 2, social mastery.
This seamlessly combines two official SSB factors, social adjustment and social effectiveness, into one overarching look at how a leader interacts with others. An officer has to master a real dual dynamic here. First, there's the inward-facing side, or social adjustment. This is your ability to fit in and anchor a team. We're talking about adapting to completely new environments and people, showing true cooperation as a unit, and carrying a deep sense of responsibility. But then you have the outward-facing side, or social effectiveness. This is all about how you project your leadership onto the group. It requires the initiative to take action without sitting around waiting for instructions, having self-confidence that's tempered with humility, rapid decision-making under pressure, the ability to influence others, and, this is a big one, liveliness. That's the vital ability to maintain a positive, energetic attitude even when things look pretty grim. An officer has to flawlessly balance both of these sides.
That brings us to Factor 3, the dynamic core.
This one really focuses on the sheer drive and resilience required for grueling operations and sudden emergencies, and it's built on three essential pillars:
First is determination, staying completely committed to the objective despite massive challenges or setbacks. Next is courage, and I really want to pause here for a second. Courage in this context isn't just about facing physical risks. It's equally about moral courage, having the guts to do the right thing, to take responsibility, and to tell the truth, even when it's incredibly difficult or unpopular. And finally, stamina. This means maintaining not just your physical endurance, but your mental endurance during prolonged, exhausting situations. These dynamic qualities, they are exactly what keep a leader moving forward when literally everyone else wants to quit.
Section 5. Surviving the SSB Assessment.
Now, this is the ultimate crucible, where candidates are tested to see if they actually possess these traits. And here is the absolutely crucial point: memorized answers versus natural behavior. The SSB is famously difficult to gain because, frankly, they do not care about rehearsed, textbook answers. You cannot fake this. The assessors are highly trained to look right past what you say you would do. Instead, they relentlessly observe how these 15 traits manifest naturally in your actions and your daily behavior under stress. To make sure they capture that authentic, natural behavior, the SSB pressure cooker assesses candidates from absolutely every conceivable angle over several days. You're evaluated through intense psychology tests designed to uncover your subconscious traits, rigorous group testing officer tasks, a seriously challenging personal interview, group discussions, physically demanding outdoor tasks, and, most tellingly, your daily behavior. They're constantly watching how you carry yourself, how you treat your peers, and how you act when you think you aren't being formally tested. It is a true 360-degree evaluation of your character.
And our final section today, forging your own leadership.
So, how can you take this rigorous military framework and actually apply it to cultivate these traits in your own civilian life? Well, developing these qualities requires a progressive ladder of intentional daily effort. Step 1. Build awareness. Simply reading newspapers and staying informed actively sharpens your effective intelligence and reasoning ability. Step 2. Take responsibility in your daily tasks. Step up and own the outcomes when no one else wants to. Step 3. Practice teamwork and communication by getting involved in sports or public speaking. And Step 4. Forge discipline. Maintain your physical fitness and actively learn from your mistakes to continuously improve. The big takeaway here is that officer-like qualities are earned through consistent practice and experience. They absolutely cannot be developed overnight.
Leadership is a continuous journey of building your personality, your discipline, and your confidence. So I'll leave you with this question. What will you take responsibility for today? Whether you're aiming for a career in the armed forces or you're just trying to lead more effectively in your own life and career, those 15 qualities start with the choices you make right now. I hope this deep dive gave you a powerful new perspective. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.